Computer, find the location of Fraser Comics 21.
Location. He resides on Earth.
Excellent.
What is up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Fraser's Indie Talk. I'm AJ Fraser, and we are going to talk about our next indie comic. So, this indie comic comes from Image Comics, and it is none other than Battle Beast. Yes, we're going to be talking about Battle Beast today from the Invincible universe. Now, last time we've talked about this particular Image comic series was back in our first season, around episode 31, when Battle Beast had first come out, like the first issue, when they debuted Battle Beast in its own issue. So now here we are today. Now we're at the arc ending, just like I said so many months ago, that they were going to run about 5 to 6, issues until they come out with like a trade paperback soon. And so won't get into any more like spoiler details, because I'll save that for last. So if you haven't read the book yet, spoiler alert, there's going to be some exciting details that's going to get revealed at the end of our review here. So, alright, here we are, issue 6. Alright, issue 6. This is the end of volume 1 here of Battle Beast. And if you've been following along, I've actually got a whole stock full of Battle Beast covers and issues, just about every single one of them. Well, not every single one of them, but I mean, they have done so many covers on just about each and every one of these issues. I mean, it is insane. There's so many, like, hell, I can't even keep up with it. Usually, I'm that type of guy where, I just want the main cover, But with, like, so many of these options out here, I mean, you just can't pass it up, So, but, anywho, alright, so before we get into issue 6 here, since we've been, off for a little while, we're going to kind of get through this as quick as possible. So we're going to start with issue 2 here, and we don't have issue 1 showing up on this episode because, again, we previewed that in our last season. So check out episode 31 when you get a chance, alright? Oh, and also, before you watch this episode, I hope you guys had watched our little funny Battle Beast short. It's kind of a prequel going into this episode, alright? So it will kind of make sense later on when you're watching this video, okay? So anyway, let's get right into it, shall we? Alright, yeah, look at that bloody juicy cover there, huh? Alright, so anyway, we're just gonna kind of skim through here. So basically, issue 2, our little alien friendo here that was about to get eaten, but has Battle Beast has spared his life. Prince Celica? Yeah. However you say his name. Sometimes I have a hard time pronouncing some of these names. But anyway, so as we're going through here, with this issue, he gets into an arena, battles some of the best fighters too, and it just so happens that this one just so happens to be on his same demeanor as him, a worthy battle to his death, and that's what this fighter is about. So, sorry, kind of skipping ahead through here. So, and of course, at the end of the battle, the winner gets this metal body, which sure helped him out because he was just straggling around. The prince here was straggling around just with an arm, torso, and his head. But now with this metal body, he's able to get around a lot easier. So, anyway. So yeah, we kind of come to the ending here. And this is where the whole thing of the scores of the Twin Galaxies kick in. So, next book, issue 3. Alright, here we go. We're going to get right into it. Alright, so leaving off from issue 2. So you got to keep in mind with this series and this character, it's all about battle, okay? Looking for a great worthy battle in order to practically end his life. And so now the ship that they're on, there's an AI computer that had the audacity to radio out a call to the Scourge Twin Galaxies colony, I'm assuming, and come to find Battle Beast. And so here they are. That's kind of their whole fleet there. And short and sweet to the point, he had basically had slaughtered just about every single one of those guys in those ships. Jumping from ship to ship. I mean, Battle Beast, I mean, he just goes crazy. I mean, look at this. Look at this. And yeah, that's pretty much it for him. So, let's see here. Oh, shoot. Sorry about that, guys. Let's skip through here. So, there they are on the ship. Showing a lot of artwork here. The amazing work that Ryan Otley and how do you say her name? Annalisa Leone. If I do apologize if I haven't mentioned her name before. There's sometimes on some people I'm not too familiar with, but I've been familiar with her work lately, and she does a great job. So, oh man, look at that. So, at this point in the book, they landed on Prince Salaka's planet, looking for the next worthy foe to fight Battle Beast. So we're just going to skip through ahead here, and then, yeah, that's where it leaves off. Okay, moving on. Issue 4. Okay, let's get right into it, shall we? Okay, issue 4. So, Battle Beast comes across these two alien-like beasts, and it just so happens that they're friendly. And so Battle Beast is okay with that because they become pretty much the transportation on this planet. So kind of like horses. Alright, so we're just going to kind of skip ahead here. Keep moving on. They're adventuring around. So they come across this lady. She's actually a witch in disguise. So paralyzes them. And then this is what she really looks like. Kind of like, you know, what the cover is. So, but anywho, we're going to skip ahead here. So she makes a sword for Battle Beast, which is going to be in use for his next worthy battle on this planet. It pleases him. So, yeah, this witch is actually nice. She recognizes Prince Salaka, wherever he's at on here somewhere. Anyway, oh yeah, there he is. From years and years and years ago, before he was eaten by Colossus and trapped with the cosmic nail that he was in all those years ago, back in the first issue. And then there's Prince Salaka's castle. Well, was his castle, but not anymore. It's owned by somebody else. Colossus' sister, Juggernaut. Alright, moving on. Okay, issue 5, almost there, guys. Issue 5, continue off from, obviously, the last issue, where we start seeing Juggernaut, which is Colossus' sister, and what she's been doing lately on this planet, you know, ruling over. And then we just kind of get into the origin of between the siblings here and when they came to the planet. Here's Prince Salaka in his like full body form back in the day. Pretty interesting. I mean, it was practically a piece of cake to the brother and sister here when they took over this planet. It was a lot of Prince Salaka's and his alien species was nothing but a bunch of chumps against those two. And so this is practically where he gets swallowed by Colossus, and yeah, there he goes. And his parents had to sacrifice their powers to him to stay immortal and live long. And here we are today. So, but yep. So venturing on through. We're just going to get to the point here. So Battle Beast is now coming across Juggernaut here. And so, and had called Prince Salaka. Battle Beast had, yep, right here. His friend, he had called his alien friend his friend. He doesn't usually say that a whole lot because doing Battle Beast is always just 100% of the time battles and trying to end his life in a worthy battle. And so, but this is where the fight starts off. So now we're moving on to issue 6. All right, and again, I'm going to mention it again. There's a spoiler at the very end of this book going into issue 7, which we'll talk about in a little bit. All right, but let's get right into it. Here we are at the arc ending of Volume 1. So as you can see, Battle Beast is fighting Juggernaut here. putting the freaking her little hand sword thing right through his body, but yet the dude is still alive. And the savage beast that he is does anything in his way to fight and find victory, or at least maybe not find victory. It's kind of hard to determine how the fight goes with Battle Beast and some of his foes that he goes up against, because I mean, it's practically he's cursed with this rage and this urge to battle everybody and their worthiness and yada yada yada. But I mean, obviously, if you've read the Invincible series, you already know what his fate was. So I mean, I know what his fate was, but I'm very intrigued by how his own story and where he's been all this time during the Invincible story, and you know how he got on that Viltrumite ship, which would have been the second time you would see Battle Beast into the Invincible universe. So yeah, it gets kind of brutal. Not going to talk much about it, the whole fight, because I mean that's really all that is in this last book here. So, and that's kind of where it leaves off. And it looks like Prince Salika is starting to get his body formed. A little bit, little by little. Almost reminds me of Deadpool, almost. Anywho. So, we're going to kind of cut to the end here. Obviously, Battle Beast is still alive. Wounded pretty badly, but I mean, he's been through worse. Alright. Alright, so here comes a lot of the spoiler stuff. Okay, so we see Colossus here. Last time we saw him was basically, minus the origin story in the last issue. But anyway, got these aliens that found him. He's still alive. Took him all this time to heal. But now we're coming across some very familiar characters. So here we are. We got General Craig here talking to you-know-who. That's right, the one and only Thrag, Grand Regent Thrag. And here has ordered General Craig to find now the one and only Conquest. So, my guess is for issue 7 or sometime in the next volume, we're going to be maybe seeing Battle Beasts fighting Conquest. I don't know. I guess we'll have to find out next spring. Issue 7 releases and returns March 2026. I guess that's what the cover is going to be looking like. So, I can't wait for it. Okay. Like I said, it had to go by fast a little bit. I try to keep some of these videos at a certain minimum time frame. Short and sweet to the point on some of them. I know we were kind of flipping through it fast. I've never really done an episode where I'm just like... I try to really, honestly, to at least do one book at a time. But with this, it's Battle Beast and how popular the series has been, I had to kind of finish it off with a banger. Or kind of, whatever you want to call a banger. But 6 issues in one episode, that's quite a bit for me to kind of go through. But I try to summarize it the best as possible, even though it was quick. It was mainly trying to get to issue 6, the arc ending of the whole, volume 1 of this story. So, and again, there were some spoiler details. If you haven't had a chance to read the book before you watch this episode, I do apologize if I spoiled anything for y'all. But again, still get the book. I mean, or heck, the whole series. They're always doing like reprints of some of the old issues earlier on in this series. Like, heck, I've got some of the second, third, fourth printings of issue 1, which I'll be putting for sale this week. So be on the lookout for... Actually, look at the links in the description below in this video. It'll take you directly to my store online, my e-commerce store, because we're not a physical store, we're an e-commerce store. And you'll find all the book listings, comic book listings, and any other kind of media listings that I have up there for sale. Scale of 1 to 10 for this series. I want to give it a 9.7 out of 10. Because again, I can't perfect anything 10 out of 10. If anything, I would love to give it a 10 out of 10. I've got to give it some flaw and imperfection. And again, not a lot of books with people they're not, into Battle Beast like, say, I am and a lot of other fans around the world are. There's just some aspects you just gotta kind of dock off a little bit. I can't say that I'm looking for, perfection, or I'm just this perfectionist. I don't believe in that crap. I just don't. Battle Beast is such an awesome character. He's one of my personal favorites in the Invincible universe, and so I love that Robert Kirkman and Ryan Ottley had been working on this for a while, along with Anna Leone, that's been part of the whole process, and the rest of the crew that's been part of, excuse me, that's been behind the Battle Beast series, and still now continuing forward. But yeah, 9.7 out of 10 here from Fraser Comics 21.
It says he's right here.
Huh?
Yep, this is it. Prepare for battle.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, well, I think that about wraps up everything today for the good old Battle Beast and for our episode today here on Fraser's Indie Talk. Join us next time on
Prepare for battle.
Someone
You're in there.
Oh shit. I think Battle Beast is here. Oh god. Well, hey, make sure you like and subscribe, to the channel, and we'll see you on the next episode. Oh.